Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal. How's everything going? I hope you are all well, enjoying the sunny start here in the UK to Tuesday. No game for Arsenal again this midweek. Got to wait till the weekend for that big game against Leicester on Sunday. But after that, it all begins to kick off a little bit. 3 games in 6 days starting from that Leicester game. A huge week coming up for Arsenal, as I spoke about yesterday. Leicester, Liverpool, Villa, all in the space of 6 days. End of that week, I think we're going to know an awful lot more about exactly where Arsenal are in the race for the Champions League. I'll talk a little bit about that later on in the video today. But I wanted to start today talking about strikers. As Mikel Arteta has been talking about what he wants from his striker and what the team needs from his striker. And this comes kind of on during a conversation on Alexandre Lacazette and what he's given to the team at the moment. So Mikel was kind of asked, what do we need? What do Arsenal need from their striker? What do you want from your striker? He said he puts the ball in the net. That's priority number 1, goal threat. Any successful team tells you, any successful team needs enough goal threat in the squad. Without it, you have nothing. You can play good football, but you need enough goal threat in the team. The other thing is that he has to complement the other people we have personally and on the pitch. And for that, we need the right profile. Interesting comments I thought there about Mikel Arteta and what he will be looking for when it comes to strikers in the summer. And when you sort of take those comments and split them in half. The second half, when he talks about complementing each other, Alexandre Lacazette at the moment is doing that better than anyone in the league. In fact, I saw a stat earlier that Lacazette, since December, I can't remember what the game was, but since December, he's provided more assists in the Premier League than any other player. And that's fantastic. Fair play to him. Another 2 at the weekend against Watford. I think he's got, I wrote this down. Lacazette's the first Arsenal player to provide as many as 7 assists in the space of 9 games since Mesut Ozil in January 2016. So that's the level in the last sort of 6 weeks or so that Alexandre Lacazette has been operating in, assist-wise, creativity-wise, and that's fantastic. But obviously, during that time, he hasn't scored. I can't even remember his last goal. Was it Norwich? Scored a penalty, didn't he, against Norwich? And that was at the end of December, and he hasn't scored since then. I don't think. I mean, you might. I haven't had a look before I said that. I might have missed one, but I think he's only scored 3 Premier League goals this season. So we can clearly see the issue with Lacazette at the moment is, on one hand, you're getting exactly what you want. You're getting the creativity. You're getting that hold-up play. I spoke about it in yesterday's video and just how important he is to this Arsenal team. He's absolutely essential at the moment, and he's bringing in others into play. And fortunately, the others at the moment are scoring the goals. But you just need a little bit more from your striker, don't you? And I said that yesterday as well. And I think Arteta's comment here, where he said he puts the ball in the net, that's priority number 1, goal threat. And that's the big issue when it comes to Lacazette. And that's like the big question between now and the end of the season is, do Arsenal have that goal threat that can get them over the line? They chose in the summer not to bring anyone in when they let Aubameyang go. At the moment, it's a decision that's perfectly paying off. They're scoring goals, they're winning games. They've been much better since Aubameyang went out of the team and Lacazette came into the team. But is it still going to be enough during this run-in, during the final couple of months? You look at what happened at Tottenham last night in that game against Everton that I'll speak about. Kane again, 2 goals for him. He's going to score 10 goals between now and the end of the season. What's Lacazette going to get? You want him at least to get around 5 goals between now and the end of the season. You feel like he needs that. But I think certainly it's interesting there where in terms of Arteta and Arsenal's hunt for a striker in the summer. I mean, it's not just going to be one forward, it's going to be a couple of forwards, but I think you're probably going to see one out and out number 9, I would imagine, and then maybe another sort of wide forward who can play, lead the line, but can also operate on the flanks as well. I'm not sure Arsenal will go out and sign 2 number 9s in the summer. I think it will just be 1. But, I was wondering whether this number 9 that Arsenal are going to go for, if the first thing they're going to be looking for is goal threat, or if they're going to be looking to bring someone in more of the mould of what Lacazette is at the moment. Yes, score a few more than Lacazette, but mainly is the sort of creator, and they're going to look to kind of do what Man City has done. And you look at Mahrez this season, I think he's leading scorer, isn't he? 21 goals, Mahrez. I was kind of wondering if Arsenal are going to kind of look to build on what they're doing at the moment. And so bringing in a central striker, a number 9 who can bring others into play, can score goals, but can really bring others into play and let the wide players score the majority of the goals. But from what Arteta is saying here, doesn't seem like that's the case. Looks like when it comes to signing a striker, Arsenal will be going all out for a real goal threat number 9 whose first priority is scoring and not bringing the other wide players into play. Going to be interesting. I can't wait for the summer. I have to say, I normally dread transfer windows because they're just horrible to report on, and everyone goes mental, and you end up just getting. It's just not fun as a reporter covering a transfer window. But I am looking forward to this one because everyone loves signing a striker, don't they? It's always the sort of position you really want to go for. You really want to be excited by bringing in your main forward and just kind of imagining what that's going to bring to the team. And Arsenal are going to bring in more than one this summer. So it's going to be exciting to see who they're going to go. I mean, we know at the moment some players that they like is not, they're not secrets. Arsenal like Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Definitely he's going to be interesting though. You signed Calvert-Lewin last summer, no one bats an eyelid because he's had a great season playing for England, scoring loads for Everton. You sign him this summer and it's kind of feels a little bit different because he's not played, he's been injured, he's been out of form since he's come back, he's desperately searching for fitness, and so it's going to be, if they do go and sign Calvert-Lewin in the summer, then it's going to kind of feel like last summer when they signed Aaron Ramsdale, and there'll be an awful lot of people saying, oh, what a dreadful signing, waste of money. Whether it ends up being like that, who knows. Last season it wasn't a waste of money, was it? They got their scouting spot on, and despite the criticism that came their way, they got all the transfers pretty much bang on. Will they do it this summer? We'll have to wait and see, but it's going to be very interesting when it comes to that striker search. Martin Odegaard's been talking. I'm not sure if you've seen it. He did a good sit-down interview with Mark Mann-Bryans, who's the PA, the Press Association reporter. I retweeted Mark's interview that he put out yesterday, so if you haven't read it yet, go and have a look at what Martin Odegaard's had to say. Look, I think everyone who watches these videos knows that when it comes to fans of Martin Odegaard, I'm right up there. I think he's an absolutely wonderful player. I was really happy when Arsenal signed him in the summer and brought him back, and he's just, the last few months, he's just been exceptional week in, week out. He's brilliant, absolute joy to watch again against Watford. And he's been talking about Arsenal and how he said he's finally found a home now, and that's why he feels like he's performing it, and he must do, because you think when he was at Madrid, he was such a nomad, wasn't he? He was based in Madrid, but it was just loan after loan after loan. And you can't get the best out of players when they're doing that. They never feel settled. They're moving constantly around. But now he's got a place, he's got a home where he feels wanted. He knows the manager trusts him. He's playing week in, week out, and Arsenal benefiting from that because he's a fantastic player. And he's been talking a little bit, and this is what he said about Arsenal and the squad and what he's found here this season. He said, the togetherness is something special here. I've never seen something like this in my football career. There's a lot of competition, but still people just want the best for the team. There is definitely something special going on here, and I feel like everyone really wants to get the club back up to the top. And that's the feeling behind it. It's great to hear something like that. Martin Odegaard's been to an awful lot of places. He's been at Madrid, lots of other squads while he's been out on loan. And for him to say that I've never seen something like this before in my football career, it's fantastic, and it kind of gives a little insight into exactly what it's like behind the scenes at Arsenal at the moment. Everyone's enjoying themselves. It's they're a group of mates. They're all young, but they're mostly all young, all coming through at the same time, all trying to forge a real successful career at the same time. And you can see how much they enjoy playing together. You can see the rapport that they've got and the togetherness they've got. I think going to Dubai was great during the winter break. It's sort of got the whole squad away together. And from what I understand, it wasn't just all about training. Far from it. There was lots of team building, squad building going on. Given a lot of time just to be with each other, and I think they've certainly benefited from that. And you just see the unity in the group at the moment. You can see the bond between the players, between the fans, everything. There is a real close bond at Arsenal now, which I haven't seen. I've spoken about it before, and in a lot of videos. That togetherness around the club at the moment is something that I haven't experienced for an awful long time at Arsenal. Way back until I'd say probably the 07-08 season. I loved that team. That squad was fantastic. They should have won the league. It was so unfortunate they didn't win the league, but you could tell they just loved playing together, all that squad. Until apart from William Gallas, but certainly the sort of midfield and the attack and the Hleb, Fabregas, Flamini, Rosicky type. that squad, Eduardo, they just love playing together, and I get that sense from this group of players as well. And it's the first time in a long time, like I said. And Odegaard's comments there, I think, give real insight into exactly what they're feeling. He was asked about the Champions League, and he said, obviously that is the target. We'll do everything to get there, and we'll take it game by game and try and win each one, and then we'll see in the end. But of course, that's a big goal, and I believe we can do it. I think we have the quality to do it. Long way to go yet, obviously, but the Champions League absolutely is the focus now. They're giving themselves a great chance, and what it would do to this team, the transformation it would give, the boost it would give to the project, as we call it, which is ahead of schedule. There's no doubt about it. And if they can get themselves in the Champions League, what that would do to transfers and everything, it would just be monumental. So fingers crossed they can do it. A couple of things before I go. A lot of people are asking me about Kieran Tierney and his form, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about it. And I do get that there is a little bit of worry about Tierney. I mean, he's definitely not playing as best as to the sort of top level and as well as we've seen him previously. I think he's certainly struggling a little bit for form. It doesn't overly surprise me. Lots of players who are involved in the Euros in the summer have struggled this season. Bukayo Saka obviously hasn't. He's been great, but lots of players, not just at Arsenal, but at other clubs, have struggled this season after the Euros. There's been no real break. And I think Tierney is definitely still scrambling around searching for his best sort of form. I don't think he's been dreadful by any means, but I think he's not hit the standards that we've certainly seen from him at times. Thought he struggled again a little bit at Watford. Watford seemed to be targeting him a little bit. It's not... I don't think it massively helps when you've got Martinelli ahead of you, because I think Martinelli does work hard, no doubt about it. But I think defensively he's not the greatest, and Tierney can get left a little bit exposed at times at left back. But I'm not overly worried about Kieran Tierney, I have to say. I think if that's one of the big concerns Arsenal have at the moment, then it shows that Arsenal are heading in a good direction, because Tierney's still a very, very good defender. He's still very important. I think Mikel Arteta is still always going to play him. I think we saw early in the season Nuno Tavares came in and he had a few good moments, a few good games. Deservedly, kept his place in the team for a little bit of period of time while Tierney was out. But Tierney, he's still one of the first names on the team sheet. When Lacazette gets substituted off now, Tierney gets the armband. That says an awful lot. Does it point to him being a full-time captain next season? Potentially. We'll have to wait and see on that. Obviously, that's a decision that's going to be taken in the summer. But yeah, I can understand a lot of you when you do get in touch with me and you say, what are your thoughts on Tierney? I can understand that it is a little bit of a concern, and it seems to be something that's on a weekly basis at the moment. Tierney's not quite at his best. He's always really a 6 out of 10. I don't think he's turning in 4 or 5 out of 10 performances, but he's always kind of around the 6, maybe a 7, whereas last season Tierney was regularly up in the sort of 8 out of 10. So there's no doubt he's not at his best, but like I said, if that's the big worry Arsenal have at the moment, then it kind of shows that things are going pretty well on the pitch. Finally, before I go, just on that Champions League race, Tottenham, big winners last night, stuffing Everton 5-0. How bad were Everton? Honestly, that was new levels of pitiful from them. Defensively, just wide open. You play like that against Tottenham, Tottenham are going to pick you off. Tottenham are one of the best counter-attacking teams there are in the Premier League. We've seen that. They showed it against City recently. They showed it against Leeds. When you give Tottenham space and you let Son and Kane dictate, and Kulusevski, sorry, I think that's the right pronunciation, who I think has been really good since he signed. He looks a hell of a player. I've got to say, he looks a decent player. Maybe not a hell of a player, but he looks a good player, and he's contributing pretty much week in, week out for them in terms of goals or assists, and I think he's proven to be a decent signing for them. And when you give those kind of forward space, and certainly space to run into, then they're going to punish you. And you look at what Everton did last night; they were just abysmal. Lampard certainly hasn't got any sort of a tune out of them, certainly away from home. It makes that Arsenal defeat. Every time I watch Everton, I think, how on earth did Arsenal lose that game at Goodison in December? Just mad. It's just 3 points thrown away right there. And you sort of look at how it's shaping up now, and is it Arsenal versus Tottenham? I don't think it is necessarily just yet. Gary Neville, speaking at the weekend after the Manchester derby, said that he still felt United had a chance. I mean, yes, Arsenal got 3 games in hand on United, but the games in hand are tricky. There's no guarantees Arsenal are going to get 6, even 4 points from their games in hand when you look at who they are. You've got Tottenham away, Chelsea away. They're difficult games. So I wouldn't say Man United are totally out of it. I would definitely say Tottenham are Arsenal's main rivals for the final spot. I mean, look, to be honest, I don't think Chelsea are out of it yet. I think third is potentially still up for grabs at the moment. That's not absolutely done and dusted yet. But I think it is certainly shaping up that Arsenal and Tottenham are kind of going head to head at the moment, with Man United just behind. And it's going to be interesting. I mean, that North London derby away at Spurs, whenever it is, it hasn't been announced yet, it's going to be huge. If that's at the end of the season, imagine how big that could be. And it's just a case for Arsenal is just to keep plugging away. Tottenham are going to win plenty of games between now and the end of the season because they've got that goal threat. They've got world-class striker in Harry Kane, who went past Thierry Henry's Premier League goals record yesterday. Don't even get me started on people trying to compare the two players. Kane's brilliant, he's world-class, but he's not Thierry Henry. He'll never be Thierry Henry. And that's going to, Tottenham are going to win an awful lot of games because of his quality, and they've got Heung-min Son as well, quality, Kulusevski as well, quality. They're going to score goals, they're going to win games. So it's just a case of Arsenal doing what they're doing at the moment and keep plugging away, getting those points, and hopefully getting themselves over the line. I still think Tottenham they're going to lose games as well, because when they come up against teams who don't give them a load of space to run into and don't let them counter-attack them, they struggle. We've seen that recently. And not everyone's going to be as open as Everton were last night. So Tottenham are going to have to learn to break down that low block, which they've struggled in recent games. So it does look like it's going to be a North London derby race for the top four. Fingers crossed Arsenal get themselves over the line, but it's going to be exciting. And yeah, just got to keep winning. As Mikel Arteta says, next game, it's all that matters. And that next game is at Leicester on Sunday. Thank you for your time, everyone. Thanks for watching. Anything you like, disagree with, agree with in this video, let me know in the comments below. I always do go through them and see what you guys have to say. Have a great day. I'll speak to you soon.